How do you say this guy's name? Is it
Which guy?
the Marvel guy? Is it Kevin Feige?
Kevin Feige.
Feige, okay.
Feige. Faye,
I
like
was
the Greek
calling
yogurt.
I was calling him Faggy, but I never said that to anyone because I didn't know if that was right or not.
Kevin Faggy?
Yeah.
No, it's Feige. I'm trying to like.
I listened to like a pronunciation thing too, and I was like, no, that can't be right.
Yeah, you're pronouncing it like the Greek yogurt commercials that Bobby Flay does. This is Kevin Feige, right? Real yogurt.
Wicked smart, wicked cool, wicked fucking stupid, whatever the fuck. Something wicked.
I'm baking like a toasted Caesar. It's so hot here.
My boy's wicked smart.
Cause the boy is hotter than hot. He's hot.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
I can either start with our witty banter, or I can just go ahead and say, welcome everyone to another episode of Wicked Hot, Kevin and John, except it's Wicked Hot Marvel Month. Yes, you've heard it. We announced it on Twitter, and it is Wicked Hot Marvel Month. Happy April, everyone.
Yeah, which it's actually not at the time of recording this, so it has
Yeah.
it doesn't have the allure yet, but it will
It
on
doesn't.
Monday.
It doesn't, but I hope everyone had a nice zombie Jesus day. And so, yeah, it's April. You guys are getting ready for Infinity War, which is coming out at the end of this month. Not to date us or anything, but Kevin, I'm excited. I mean, we both were excited about this, and I think the Wicked Hot Marvel Month is our first like real event. Wicked Hot's first event.
Yeah, it's obviously the first event, but it's also like the first series of podcasts that we're doing. So we're doing 4 Marvel-themed podcasts up until the release of Infinity War, and then maybe we'll talk about Infinity War the next week or something.
Yeah, no, that'd definitely be cool. But yeah, so we did have, aside from the special announcement for Wicked Hot Marvel Month, should we just tell them now or wait till the end and really make it them stick the whole way through?
Yeah, let's tell them at the end.
Okay, tell you at the end. But so moving on from that, we did go ahead and put a picture up on the Instagram for this week's episode. Kevin.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
actually pulling it up right
Okay.
now. Did you see
Sorry,
me panicking? And it sounded like you tried to slow down to save me, but
I actually didn't see you panicking. I thought you were like fumbling around with something. I was like, okay.
so yeah, we had one guess, and it was the right guess.
Really? It was only one? I thought we had more than that. I thought we had some on Twitter.
Nobody got it on the Twitter. We had a guess, basically that it was about how comfortable or uncomfortable the costumes were. But no, that was incorrect.
Yeah. I'm not, before we get into the right answer, I'm honestly not I'm not opposed to doing an episode about that.
Yeah, I think this whole series of posting the picture has got us more show ideas than it has.
Than it has guesses. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if we use your idea, we will make sure to definitely credit you for the idea.
Yep.
But we did get the winner, and who is the winner, and what do they guess?
The winner was Christian Gill, 1999, on Instagram. Wonder who that is.
Yeah.
And
sounds like a family member, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
He guessed Easter eggs, and he said in honor of Easter on Sunday. So he was right on both accounts.
Yes, yeah. We should have been like, it's recording in the next 2 weeks. You're fucking wrong. Yes. So we are covering Easter eggs. Not all Easter eggs, but our favorite Easter eggs within the MCU. Kevin and I did make a pact that we can't use X-Men, or was it just X-Men?
Yeah, I think it was just X-Men.
Yeah, because then it's just X-Men and Deadpool, and that's basically it. And then Fantastic Four, but I mean, you know, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, no, but I didn't even
Yeah.
consider those movies when I was looking for
Exactly. All right. Well, before we start off the Easter egg,
Rewind.
okay. Yeah. Rewind. So before we start this episode, I just wanted to point out that this is not going to be the audio version of those YouTube videos with the red circles and arrows. Have you seen those that point out basically like every minute detail someone watches a movie in like about 5 frames per second, just kind of pointing out like little nuances and things in the background so they can be like writing all those clickbait articles to say 5 things you missed and just circle and put arrows everywhere.
Those,
you know what I'm saying?
Those infuriate me because it's literally like a 13-minute video and the thumbnail just grabs you. And of course the thumbnail thing that you want to see is like way in the back of the video.
Yeah.
And it's just bullshit.
Yep.
And I found a lot of those when I was searching for my stuff. It's like, this is not an Easter egg, or it's just really reaching in general.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, no. Some of the things, it was a lot of clickbaity articles, but out of the trash heap, I was able to find something that was pretty salvageable.
Agreed.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Marvel movie Easter eggs coming your way in 3, 2, 1.
I am Iron Man.
We do this all day. I am Thor, son of Odin.
And Hulk. Smash.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
The Black Panther has been the protector of Wakanda for generations. The mantle passed from warrior to warrior.
Whoa, you're the Avengers!
Hey, you know what? There's another name you might know me by.
Star-Lord.
Who?
Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw.
All right, so my first Easter egg is pretty relevant, considering it deals exactly with the themes that we'll face in Infinity War. And I'm talking about the vessel for the stones themselves. Insert Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom reference. Every time I see her stones, I always think, the stones will be found. You won't. Do you know what I'm talking about?
That's not what I think, because I don't know fucking lines of movies like you do.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know I'm very advanced with this shit. But in any case, I digress. So I'm talking about the Infinity Gauntlet making early appearance in Thor 1. So basically what happens is you can catch a glimpse of it, of the Infinity Gauntlet, I mean, in Odin's vault on Asgard when the Frost Giants sneak in and they're attacked by the Destroyer.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, like, you need, and I thought it was featured more like up front. I because I don't remember it in this movie. I feel like it was in the second one, but I couldn't find a scene where it showed it, or even in the Avengers. But you have to like pause it just as at the right moment, like the minute the Destroyer like is about to fire, they like
so it's
cut.
like a few frames.
Yeah, like if that, and like you really just you'll see it in the background, and then it just gets completely like blinded when like the Destroyer's beam just like fries the giants or whatever. So anyway, the reason I brought it up is because we see Thanos at the end of Age of Ultron put on the gauntlet, and there was a lot of speculation as to like, oh, or like everyone remembered that it was in Thor 1, like how the fuck did he get it? And in Thor 1, it visibly has all the Infinity Stones on it.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, like every single one, because like the palm, I mean not the palm, but like the, I don't know, the top of like the hand, like the top of the glove is facing the camera. So you can see all the gems like lit up. Luckily, the Easter egg actually comes to its full like circle, like full use in Thor Ragnarok when Hela is in Odin's vault. And so I remember like the Executioner was like, oh, wow, I can't believe we're in Odin's vault. And she's just unimpressed. And she literally walks up to the Infinity Gauntlet, and it's huge. And she's standing right in front of it. And she pushes over the Infinity Gauntlet, and it just like clangs to the ground. And she says, fake. She's like, all the things in here are fake. Like most of the things in here are fake. So I'm my whole speculation on the Easter egg thing, I'm thinking that with Thor 1, they weren't planning, I guess, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
For Thanos being the main villain, or I just don't think maybe there was as much oversight like studio wise compared to now. you know?
in Thor, okay, so if the Infinity Stones, let's just say it is real,
Okay.
isn't there an Infinity Stone in Thor?
Yes.
And they talk about the Infinity Stone, right?
Well, technically, I feel like a lot of the Infinity Stones are in, because there's the one that's in Loki's scepter. He has an Infinity Stone.
Right.
There's the one in the Tesseract, which Loki wants, and then there's one in the Ether, which is the red gem from Thor: The Dark World, which is an awful movie. I wouldn't blame you if you forgot the whole movie because it's really terrible.
Okay, so in the first Thor, they would have. What I'm thinking is they had to have known that it was fake, or was planning for it to be fake if there were Infinity Stones in the movie, because it wouldn't obviously have those on it already.
Oh, you're thinking that it was intended to be fake from like frame one?
Yeah, so like if we know Loki's scepter has an Infinity Stone, he has it that entire movie.
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah, or is it just, or does he only have it in the Avengers? Now I can't remember.
I can't either, but I know, is it the Tesseract for sure in there? In the first Thor? Well, either way, it's in.
I think so. I could be wrong, but no. You know who has it is fucking Captain America gets found alongside it.
Oh yeah, okay.
So the humans have it, like mankind has it.
Okay.
So I guess Loki only has the. All right, fine. So 2 were featured in Thor.
In first Thor. If he has the scepter, we don't know that for sure.
Okay, so only one Infinity Stone, possibly. If Loki has the scepter, is featured in Thor 1.
Okay. So assuming that that's real, they would have had to have been like, okay, it's planned to be fake because it has all the Infinity Stones in it.
That's true, but
that
I don't
is
know.
a huge
continuity.
Continuity, like
yeah,
it's
unless Loki just puts it back every night, like he comes in, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna use a scepter tonight. I'm just gonna pop one of these gems off and throw it in there," and that's how it works. I don't know.
Yeah, he takes his mom's jewelry or something, just throws in a
yeah, just the costume jewelry. In there.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is a yellow one.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's basically like costume jewelry. Actually, you could get a pretty shitty diamond that's yellow and throw it in there.
Yeah,
and at least that's like a diamond. That's a rock. It's not like a cubic zirconia.
Yeah, and nobody's looking at it that close. I'm sure they don't bring like a gemologist or whatever the fuck they are to look at them, inspect them.
Yeah, gemologist or like a jeweler and from New York,
an Asgardian jeweler, or a Jewish New Yorker. Jeweler.
Yeah, like a Hasidic Jew jeweler. Oh man, that's hilarious. Yeah, so what are your final thoughts like on Infinity Gauntlet, its first appearance in Thor, and then the debunking in Thor Ragnarok?
That is very interesting because they like killed both theories. Like if it's a fake or if it was real at the time,
right?
So like she says it's fake. That kills the Infinity Stone discrepancy,
right?
And it also kills the fact that Thanos has it now,
right?
And it's still supposedly in his vault.
Yeah, because if you remember when he picks up the his hand. His gauntlet from his microwave. I always thought it looked like a microwave in the end scene of Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
He's like reaching into a microwave. It's like, it's ready.
Pulls out a Hot Pocket or something.
A Hungry Man or something. Yeah. But yeah, when Thanos puts on the gauntlet, like he has no Infinity gems or stones on it.
Right.
So he has like 0. What would be really funny though is and I guess Asgard's destroyed, but if it wasn't, when Hela like pushes it over, like one of them is real. Like one of them is just like.
That would be funny.
Wouldn't that be funny? Because like like for in museums and stuff, sometimes they like recreate stuff to like kind of put it in its element.
Yeah,
it would be funny if it just only one of them, which is the one we're missing, which I think is the orange stone,
the Soul Stone.
Yeah, the Soul Stone. If the Soul Stone was in the fake Infinity Gauntlet.
That would be funny. They could actually still do that.
They could. They could. It's like, because Asgard gets destroyed, now it's just floating around in space, and then Thanos finds it. He's like, oh, look. And he just throws it on there. That'd be hilarious. All right, cool. Well, just how I ended with a cosmic hero, I also hear that your Easter egg is quite cosmic itself.
It is, yes. So apparently, you're going to have to help me out with the name again. I don't want to mispronounce it.
Okay, Kevin Feige.
Okay. He is a huge Star Wars fan, and obviously since Disney owns both, they can kind of pay homage to some Star Wars stuff. So apparently, I didn't even realize this, but thinking back, I remember all of these scenes. So apparently in every Phase 2 Marvel movie, somebody's arm gets chopped off.
Yeah, I never realized that until...
It's crazy. So the scenes are, these are just the Phase 2 movies. Thor gets his arm cut off in Thor 2.
Yes, I did see that.
Aldrich Killian gets his arm cut off in Iron Man 3.
Oh shit, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Bucky's gets cut off in Winter Soldier.
And in Civil War.
Yeah.
He gets his arm chopped off like a lot.
Yeah. Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
Iron Man in Age of Ultron. And Yellow Jacket in Ant-Man.
I don't even remember the Iron Man and the Yellow Jacket one. So Yellow Jacket was one of the most forgettable villains.
Yeah, he was. Which I'm actually going to talk about a little later. But the Iron
spoilers.
Man, the Iron Man one, it's obviously not Tony Stark's arm. It's just, I think it's when they're fighting Ultron and
he
when
breaks Ultron.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Because I think he's wearing a sling the rest of the movie at the very end.
Interesting. Well, yeah, then that would definitely explain it. I mean, that's fucking cool. Like, paying an homage to like another amazing franchise, and it's in every Phase 2. One?
Every Phase 2.
Now I'm trying to think of the one in Guardians.
The Guardians is Groot.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So I mean, that could have happened any time. That could have happened when he blew up.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh no! I think he gets his arms chopped off by Gamora. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
I think so.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, every Phase 2 movie, it's weird to think like the producer just was like in these production meetings. He's like, you have to have somebody's arm get cut off.
Yeah. So is that how it works?
And the writer's like, fuck. Now I have to write in this fucking guy's arm getting cut off.
Yeah, like when is it appropriate? I mean, I guess anytime during a battle scene. But if we're really breaking down every time someone's arm got cut off, like when Thor gets his arm cut off in the Dark World, I was about to say when Thor gets his arm cut off in Troll 2.
What?
Do you know that movie, Troll 2?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. But yeah, when Thor gets his arm cut off, I think Loki it pretends to cut it off, and it's like a weird like scene that is just like is there. So that almost seems like they were told last minute. They're like, oh fuck, I forgot. Kevin Feige likes this. I got to find a way. I'm like, I'm gonna do it this way. That's how it's gonna be.
Yeah, because that was something they could have done in post if they didn't already had planned it out.
Right.
Because wasn't Thor was the first movie, or Thor 2 was the first movie in Phase 2, right?
I believe so, yes.
Wasn't
Phase 2 after the Avengers?
Yes. So I think after every Avengers, it's a new phase.
Correct, yes. Okay. Because then we're in Phase 3, right?
We're now in Phase 3, yeah.
Because I guess Civil War kind of initiated Phase 3, even though it's not an Avengers movie technically. It's not the Avengers.
It could be
it's
lumped
like Avengers
into
1
either
and a half.
one. It could be lumped into either a Captain America movie or a Avengers movie,
right?
In my opinion.
Yeah, which I guess are one and the same because those are the guys that are most frequently featured in the Avengers movies.
True. So Yeah, and I guess Ant-Man was the last one in Phase 2. So this does go in order. So it's Thor 2, Iron Man 3, Winter Soldier, Guardians, Ultron, and then Ant-Man. So Ultron was not the last movie in Phase 2.
Right.
That was some slow-mo, right.
Oh no, he gets their arm cut off in Ultron. I think Ultron still counts though, because Claw gets his arm chopped off by Ultron.
Oh,
Andy Serkis gets his arm cut off.
Yeah. That's a double whammy for that movie.
It is a double whammy, and if anything, I'm pretty sure his arm gets cut off again in Black Panther. Spoilers. I don't know if that's not really an integral part of the movie. Yeah, I think his arm does get cut off. His like prosthetic arm.
It's got to be funny, like in the like when they go to makeup, they're all getting like these fake arms because this guy wanted an homage.
Well, I don't think they get fake arms, right? It's like fake.
They might be
it's
getting
like green
like
screen.
makeup.
It's like a green screen sleeve, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of it's probably done with makeup, but yeah, it could be green.
Oh, true.
Like
okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right, sweet. So just like yours, with kind of like Star Wars homage, mine is also to another homage to a Galaxy team, a Guardians team, if you will. And I'm talking about the original Guardians crew is featured in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So obviously we all know that my next pick had to be from the huge friend to the show, Guardians of the Galaxy, because we love both of them. And we have like the whole bonding jerk off sesh about Guardians every fucking time we talk about it. But I had to use this one because I actually didn't really know this at all. But yeah, so surprising me, I thought the crew we all know and love was actually the original crew. So apparently the original crew consisted of a couple different
Sylvester
characters.
Stallone.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of people we don't know.
Right. So I guess the leader of the original Guardians was called Major Vance Astro, but he wasn't featured in the movie.
That's a fucking comic book name right there.
Yeah. Or a porn name.
Oh, yeah.
Vance Astro. That's what I was thinking. Major Vance Astro. That's definitely a porn. Like a 70s
But you only
porn.
do military themed pornos.
Yeah, military space theme. Okay. Yeah, so Major Vance Astro. But then we have character Charlie 27, which is played by none other than Ving Rhames in Guardians 2, which I love Ving Rhames.
Yeah.
I mean, he's awful, but like he's so good as a supporting role every time. I don't know what it is.
He is, yeah. He could never carry an entire movie, but God
No,
damn, he's good in those small roles.
Good character actor. He's just a good character actor.
Yeah.
Next crew member we have is Martinez Tinaga, played by Michael Rosenbaum. I didn't know who this is, but then I realized it's Lex Luthor in Smallville. So that's kind of interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, Yondu was also part of the original crew, which
He
rest
was.
in peace.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes, he was. And I'm still like super pissed they killed him off. Like
Especially after how good he did in the second movie.
His character development in the second one was unreal. And I legit was very, very sad when he freezes and Star-Lord is like yelling no. I mean, like almost like that brings like a tear to your eye because it was so powerful. And Michael Rooker fucking killed that role. He was so good in that role.
He was. I did not like his character in the first movie, and it maybe because it didn't have the development that it had in the second movie.
Yeah.
But
totally.
His role in the second movie like made me appreciate his role in the first movie a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, if you go and see if you see the second movie, you go back for the first one and see Yondu, I love him because it's like I got the development I needed from 2. I see him in 1. It's great. And this almost got out of hand with Guardians 2 worship. Almost got out of hand.
I could talk for days.
Yeah, I know. Same. then we have Starhawk, which is Stakar Gord, played by none other than Sly, Sylvester Stallone. And then there's also Aletta O'Gord, that is played by Michelle Yeoh, which is the Bond girl Wei Lin from Tomorrow Never Dies, if you remember that movie.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I do remember that movie.
Yeah. I still think World Is Not Enough is probably the worst Pierce Brosnan one. But that's
yeah, hands down.
Okay.
Hands down.
Ooh, Die Another Day, though. That one's not very good either. World Is Not
They're
Enough is
all
probably
pretty
worse,
bad
though.
after GoldenEye.
Pretty much. Yeah, so it's funny because the whole idea of a team up, so the true Guardians of the Galaxy arrives after the funeral of Yondu, which they're all shown paying their respects. But obviously, the original Guardians team kind of comes together when Sly's Starhawk, or Stakar, brings all the Ravager captains together during the mid-credit scene and basically says we need to get everyone back together, which is pretty awesome because they all are kind of like their own thing. But I still think you got some pretty good character actors in there. Plus you got Sly, which after like Creed, I'm like convinced he can act. So, and you know, he kind of pulls off like the old timey like space like jockey kind of guy.
Yeah, he
And
did it
especially-
in Demolition Man.
Yeah, Demolition Man, and I'll even throw in Dredd. I mean, he was a superhero,
Yeah.
right?
I liked
So-
his version of Dredd.
I mean, not more than Carl Urban. Let's be real.
That's true, but it like a lot.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of hate, but I don't hate it.
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, James Gunn, who actually helms and I didn't know they called it this, but Guardians is part of the Cosmic MCU.
I actually knew that.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know anyone else that's in that, but I remember reading something about that.
Yeah. I think Doctor Strange is also technically a part of it, and I think now Thor Ragnarok is as well, or like Thor Forward. But yeah, James Gunn actually spoke about the idea of a like multiple Guardian spin-off movies, which I'm 100% into because I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy could be its own thing.
Yes, it doesn't. Guardians is probably one of my favorite series so far of the MCU. So
Agreed.
I'll take anything I can get as far as spin-offs from that movie. Like I want a Drax spin-off. I'll go for an Originals Guardians spin-off.
Yeah, I'm definitely into the original Guardians spin-off. It's actually funny how like the Ravager captains are technically the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's weird because I did hear this while I was researching my stuff, and I don't really understand. So in the comics, this crew is the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not like Star-Lord and Drax. It's not those people.
It is Star-Lord and Drax and all of them later on. I think in the like late 90s, early 2000.
Okay.
Like because I know in like the late or like the early 90s, like late 80s, early 90s, Yondu was still a part of the team. I think most of the original crew were still a part of the team, and then they introduced Star-Lord in the 90s as his own character.
Okay.
But yeah, now the current Guardians are, I think, led by. They used to be led by Iron Man, but now I think they're led by Nova Prime, or Nova, I guess, which is kind of like he's part of actually the Nova Corps, which they cover in Guardians 1.
Is it
and
John C. Reilly's character?
Oh fuck! I wish. I hope
That would be awesome.
it would be awesome. Actually, I wouldn't be mad at that because Nova's kind of badass, but I wouldn't mind like Nova being completely different and being fucking John C. Reilly with his crazy ass hair. That'd be funny as shit.
That would be.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on the Easter egg of the original Guardians crew?
It's cool. I when I saw the movie and I saw the end credit scene, I had no idea who that was. Even when he was like, "Let's get the band back together," I had no fucking clue.
Yeah, same.
It was one of those things where you really would have had to have read the comics to know what's going on.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people who read Guardians of the or not a lot of people read Guardians of the Galaxy. I feel like that wasn't as big until like maybe the movies start like getting announced or like the rumors or whatever, and then it started picking up steam as far as the print is concerned. But
Yeah, I know when the movie was coming out, a lot of people were talking about like, can this be a successful movie? Because nobody knows who it is.
right, because I think
And-
this was Marvel's first gamble with like more unknown heroes.
Yeah, and it really paid off.
Yeah, James Gunn, like it's kind of like the whole theory of like the what's his fucking name? J.J. Abrams with the Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Like, except James Gunn kills it one after the other. I'm hoping it's not the third like syndrome where it gets fucked, but
His brother's legit. I hope
yeah, I'm
hope
kind
he actually learns how to use the fucking mohawk
Arrow.
and then is a part of the Guardians.
yeah, it's funny enough, and I know it's like we're getting in on Guardians again, but Yondu's character actually was an archer. Like he still had the fin, but he had like a bow and arrow.
Oh, really?
Like a cosmic looking bow and arrow, which is funny how I love the way they translated in this. That
Yeah.
arrow is sweet as fuck.
Yeah. That thing's awesome. And it's so deadly. And everyone knows it, too. And they're like, fuck. Every time they see it, they're like, shit.
I'm sure this got out of hand with Guardians.
It
I'm
did.
almost positive.
It definitely did.
So Yondu's got his bow and arrow. We just need a shield in this to make it a little medieval. Instead, we're just going to Captain America. So we're talking about Cap Shield.
I love
right,
that. I love how you say America because you say it like a fucking redneck. You're like Captain America.
I feel like the A was silent for sure, but I didn't think it sounded that backwards. Maybe
No.
it's the swamp child Florida guy in me.
So yeah, my next one is Cap's shield. So in every Captain America movie so far, so 1, 2, and then I guess we're considering Civil War, obviously.
Yeah, we'll consider it.
We will. I actually consider it a little side tangent. I actually consider Captain America Civil War a Cap movie, but it is also considered, in my opinion, to be an Avengers movie.
It is an Avengers movie. I
So-
always thought of it as an Avengers movie.
So you can.
I feel like they don't spend on Captain America too often in that movie.
no,
It's pretty equal.
it's definitely equal between the two sides.
Yeah.
Cap's side is just way smaller, so it does focus on him more.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So yeah, in every Captain America movie, Bucky or the Winter Soldier has Cap's shield in some form or another and does fight with it. It's not like he just grabs it. It's like he legit.
Knows how to use it.
Yeah. So the nod for this is like going back to the comics where Bucky does actually take over the role of Cap.
Yeah.
And maybe like since we know that Chris Evans doesn't want to come back after the next Avengers, like maybe this is foreshadowing his rise to Captain America, because I know doesn't Falcon also in the comics become Cap?
He does. Yeah, so they really can go either way with this. Like I would be okay with Anthony Mackie playing the new Captain America, and I'd be okay with, and I don't know who the guy who plays Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan, right? Or Stan Sebastian?
Yes, the guy from Gossip Girl.
Okay. Sure. But yeah, I wouldn't be mad at either of them being Captain America because they're both awesome and they're both awesome in the movies. Although I think now that they brought Bucky into Wakanda, I think he's going to become like the White Wolf, which is like a white Black Panther.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to go that route, but either way, I'm good with it.
I think I would prefer Anthony Mackie over the guy from Gossip Girl, just because I don't really like Falcon as a hero. So I think he has a much more potential as being Captain America.
What do you mean you don't like him as a hero?
I don't know. I
Well,
just
he's-
think his like talents are kind of lame. Like he can fight, but he can just fly, and he's also
Oh, you mean like him as Falcon?
yes, like Falcon's abilities, not him personally, but that's why I think he would have a lot more options or a lot more like development ability if
Yeah.
he
I
was
mean, I
Cap.
would agree, but like Falcon is, Falcon's like non-suited version. He's not a super soldier, Winter Soldier is. You know, like
That's
he's like
true.
physically on the same as Cap, whereas I'm just gonna say Anthony Mackie because I actually don't remember Sam. Right? Isn't his name Sam?
Yes.
Yeah. So Sam or Falcon's abilities are very much like his suit and his like military training, martial arts, blah blah blah.
So do you think, I don't know if you know, but in the comic books, like how does he become Captain America? Do they inject him with that serum or what?
No, and honestly, I'm not sure, but I do know that he wears like the Falcon suit, but like with Captain America
Oh, okay.
colors.
That might be cool. Yeah, I actually prefer that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it for sure.
Especially if he gets a new shield. Because we
Well,
know
he doesn't get the shield. He just gets like white wings, and he has like the star on like his chest. And
Oh, so that he doesn't even get anything cool?
I don't know. Now that I can't even think of it. Maybe he does have a shield. I don't know, guys. Wicked Hot fans, let us know if Falcon actually has a shield because we don't know. We're blanket on this.
He better get a shield because we know it breaks in Infinity War.
Well, we know it. It's already gone, isn't it? Because I mean, in the commercial for Infinity War, Captain America has like those like mini shields that also look like stabbing weapons.
Yeah, doesn't it break at the end of? Oh no, he leaves it back in Civil War.
In Civil War, yeah.
After they fight, and then he jams it in Tony Stark's chest.
Right. Yes.
So I think Stark must have the legit shield, but
I think
it's in the trailers in Infinity War broken, or it's in one of the posters. So he does break it.
Yeah. So I dig the Bucky shield. I mean, it's cool that it does reference Captain America, but I think we're both on the same thing where Falcon definitely needs to be Captain America going forward.
Especially if Bucky's going to be White Panther. I don't remember what you called it.
Yeah, White Wolf.
Okay.
Wolf. So just like there's different people that played Captain America. We have different actors that played Hulk. And Kevin, I think it's safe to say that we've talked this movie half to death. What with Ed Norton on set
That's for
stuff.
damn sure. Yeah.
Liv Tyler as Betty Ross.
Fuck her.
Yeah, which is still bizarre to me. Bizarre. And I'm pretty sure we've also talked about some other stuff about this movie. I don't know.
William Hurt. Yeah.
William Hurt
versus Sam
fuck.
Neill.
William Hurt. Jesus Christ.
What's his name?
Yeah.
The other guy. Something. Sam Elliott.
Boss.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
There
Sam
we go.
Elliott.
So I called him Sam Neill.
Sam Neill. Hey, I'm gonna be mad at that. But yeah, I guess in Wicked Hot fashion, I'm going to talk about it again because it is Wicked Hot Marvel month. So fuck it.
I got a Harry Potter one in here, so
Oh, nice.
I don't.
So I'll go ahead and say this is actually still the only Marvel movie I have not seen in its entirety, and I'm pretty sure I've only seen like one scene. But I'm talking about the Incredible Hulk, and specifically, what would you like?
I know there was some confusion over whether it was Hulk, the Hulk, or Incredible Hulk.
Hulk, the Hulk, or Incredible Hulk.
So it's the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk, right?
Yes, Edward Norton,
Okay.
Incredible Hulk. And I'm specifically talking. The Easter egg I'm talking about is that the villain, the Leader, which apparently is one of the Hulk's most infamous nemesis. But yeah, so we basically have a precursor appearance of the Leader in the Incredible Hulk. So actor Tim Blake Nelson portrays him, and I don't even know what the fuck this guy's from. He's in stuff. I don't know. Look him up. I don't even have like the pay. I was like, I don't know who this guy is. I was looking at his filmography. I'm like, I don't know. No one's gonna know. But yeah, he portrays him. He becomes the Leader, as Dr. Samuel Stearns, which is the character Samuel Stearns becomes the Leader. Except in this movie, he's trying to help Bruce Banner find a cure, and he's a doctor. In the actual source material, it's pretty funny. He's actually a janitor. Like he's a shit. Like he's like they made him on like the opposite spectrum. Like janitor becomes doctor. It's like Good Will Hunting or something like that. But yeah, so throughout the events of the movie, somehow Hulk's blood drips into an open head wound that he has.
Yeah, I remember
Which-
this very vividly.
Okay. I'm really glad I didn't see this because this whole thing sounds so fucking stupid. But yeah, so blood drips into a fucking like head wound he has.
Why isn't he like,
And-
fuck, I'm gonna get AIDS now?
Yeah,
That's the first thing I think when blood drips into an open wound.
exactly. So this basically causes his cranium to rapidly expand, just like the comic book character. So he's got like a big head and not like the weird monster thing from Green Lantern. If anyone remembers that guy. But yeah, so we actually never see the leader born, I guess, as how he's shown within like the source material, but it was implied. Blood, and the guy's name is the same guy as the leader. Blood drips down into his head. Head gets big, kind of like how the villain is. There was, however, an MCU comic tie-in prior to the Avengers release in 2012 that revisits the character.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. So apparently his head, it sounds so stupid to say, his head is still undergoing a rapid mutation during the events of the movie. When
That's
Black
not very
Widow,
2 years is not very rapid.
No, like during the event,
Okay.
during the events of the Incredible Hulk
Oh, okay.
is when the comic is like kind of, discovering the behind the scenes.
Oh, I see. I was going to say
So-
4 years is not, because it's from 2008 to 2012, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. But no. This is during like the movie. The comic is taking place during the movie.
All right, makes sense.
And so Black Widow is still, obviously, as we know in Avengers, she's following Bruce Banner, whatever. So Black Widow actually happens upon the leader when he's, has his head mutating. He actually starts to kind of show his power. Like he knows like where she's from and stuff, like with like analysis, like he knows her entire like name and existence. And he tries to like bribe her or something like that. She eventually shoots him in the leg and he's detained into SHIELD custody. So it's still possible that he could be appearing again, which would be pretty sweet. I mean, I've never heard of the villain myself, but I was reading a little bit of the bio and he's like a Marvel Sinestro. If you know the DC character, like Green Lantern's nemesis Sinestro, is part of like the Yellow Lantern Corps. I know we're getting like way off topic with Marvel stuff, but that's kind of what he looks like. Just big head, alien looking motherfucker, green. So yeah.
Yeah, so when I first saw Incredible Hulk, I was about to say Hulk. When I first saw Incredible Hulk, a couple months ago, I saw this scene, and it doesn't really ever touch on it again after this scene. And I was so pissed that it never touched on the guy again. I had to look it up and see, like, what the fuck happened to this guy. So he better come back because, like, it just created this villain and had no closure on him at all. He's just out there.
Yeah. So what did you? Was he good in the movie?
Yeah, he helped. He helped Bruce. Actually, no, he wasn't. Well, you thought he was, but then it turns out he was saving all of
The serum to
Bruce
give
Banner's.
to
Yeah, he was saving all of his
Abomination.
blood. Yeah, well, in the movie, it doesn't really work out like that. He's saving his blood to like replicate it,
Okay.
but Abomination or the guy like
Anil
comes
Blonsky.
to see him, yeah, and then like forces him to change him into that. So
To
he's-
fight Hulk.
Yeah, so he's not like a bad guy. He's just kind of misinformed on what the blood, like how powerful the blood is.
I see.
And
Okay.
in the movie, he just like falls over and the blood starts dripping into his wound, and it starts like getting bigger and bigger. And that's the last time you see him in the entire movie.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking stupid. And and the end credit scene was like Tony Stark talking to William Hurt.
Yeah.
So it's not like
So
he
there's
even-
nothing. There's no like
there's just
in credit scene closure or anything. It's just like, here's this villain that you're never going to see again after 17 more movies.
I mean, it is weird, but maybe we'll get another Hulk movie. Which would honestly, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I know kind of Ragnarok was a bit of a Hulk movie, but I mean, we got the MCU comic tie-in. At this point, and he's like on IGN's like top villain list. So I'm assuming he's a pretty big deal. I've never read the Incredible Hulk comics, but Wicked Hot fans out there, if you guys know of the leader and how awesome he is, let us know, because I didn't know about him, but I guess he seems like he's a pretty big deal. So it would be nice to see the character explored. Although I don't know about using the same guy. Because if he's fully mutating, you could definitely use someone else in like makeup.
Yeah, they could use somebody else. But
at this point, is anyone going to fucking remember, honestly?
No, but that's the time that I like to see the same actor, because it's like, damn, after 10 years or 12 years or whatever, how long it takes them to make that, it's like, wow, they still got the same character. I like when movies do that.
Yeah, it keeps it original. Like you don't stray. I know. Like I was watching a video of Iron Man 1, and when I saw Terrence Howard up there, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, Terrence Howard. Where's Don Cheadle at? Like,
it actually reminds me of an episode of The Office really early on. This character, Meredith, her kid is in the show, and he's like 10 years old or like 8 years old. Yeah. And then later on, he's a stripper, and he's like 18 years old. They got the same actor to do it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I love when they do that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's a nice surprise, though. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that does it for Incredible Hulk. Kevin, what do you got for me?
So before we had the current Spider-Man we have now, Tom Holland, there was a petition out there to get Donald Glover into, I guess, Sony's Spider-Man. This was before there was actually a Marvel Spider-Man.
Oh, so before the crossover?
Right.
Okay.
So the petition was to get Donald Glover to be Miles Morales, which we know is the second or the next Spider-Man.
Right, the next big Spider-Man.
And does he get like the same powers the same way? I don't understand.
I don't understand either, because I've actually never read any of the Miles Morales stuff. But in regards to that, Donald Glover, he's not young.
No.
It'd be like a Tobey Maguire situation.
Yeah, this was also a while ago. I would say like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, but I feel like Donald Glover's like your age, and Tom Holland like just turned 21.
That's true. Tom Holland does look like a teenager.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the cartoon, Peter never looked like a teenager.
No, he looked like a grown-ass man. He did. That's why I'm still with the Tobey Maguire. He's the best 30-year-old in high school.
Yeah. So Donald Glover has this little tiny cameo in Spider-Man Homecoming, and it was there's a theory out there that it's for something else. I guess his character, I didn't even know this. His character in the comics is called the Prowler. Yeah. And he happens to be the uncle of Miles Morales.
Oh shit.
The actual second Spider-Man. So there's some speculation that Marvel did this to like throw a bone at Sony so they can have a Miles Morales Spider-Man movie on their own.
You know what? I just realized. First of all, that's awesome. Second of all, he does talk about his fucking nephew.
Yeah, in the movie. He does.
In the movie. He's like, I got a nephew, man. Like, you know, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or does he have a kid? I know he mentions a child.
He does talk about his nephew in the movie, and that's kind of why it is an Easter egg, because not only was there like this huge petition out there for Donald Glover to play Miles Morales, but they got him to play his uncle and possibly set up, by talking about his nephew, another, maybe a Sony-led Spider-Man movie with Miles Morales instead of Peter Parker.
Yeah, I'd be into it, because, I mean, when Miles Morales becomes Spider-Man, he's also in high school, but at this point, Peter Parker is basically like, at least in the current run, Peter Parker is kind of like a Tony Stark. Like, he has his own company.
Okay.
And he is Spider-Man, but not really so much anymore. And Miles Morales is kind of his own thing.
So Miles Morales and Peter Parker are Spider-Man at the same time?
Concurrently, yes. Because right now, Peter Parker is Spider-Man in the Amazing Spider-Man comic series, which is obviously the longest running one, the one I have collected. and then there's Spider-Man, which is Miles Morales.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So
that's
do
how
they-
it goes right now.
Even though they're in, I don't know how comics work, but even though they're concurrently Spider-Man, like, are they, and they're different comics, are they like in the same universe, or is
They
it
are
like
in the
completely
same-
separate?
Now, everything in the Marvel Universe is basically in the Marvel Universe.
Oh, okay, so even if it's a different comic, it's still all in the same universe.
Correct.
Okay.
The X-Men stuff kind of gets a little iffy, but we won't get into the nitty-gritty details.
We're
but
not talking
yes.
about X-Men, goddammit.
Yeah, but yes, the Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man are going at it at the same time. So, yeah, I mean, I'd be down to see like a whole like Spider-Verse.
That's
thing
awesome.
where-
Spider-Verse.
Well, that's what it's called, and just a bunch of like spider people. I know it sounds stupid. A bunch of spiderlings.
I want to see some spider people in the Spider-Verse. That does
But
sound
yeah.
really lame.
Yeah, no, but I'm into it. I definitely like that Easter egg, and I definitely like where that's going. I didn't know the Prowler was Miles Morales' uncle.
Yep, and I'm a big fan of them, like, paying respect to Donald Glover
Yeah,
for being like, we're not going to have a 30-year-old play Peter Parker, or Miles Morales in general, but like, we respect what you're doing over here.
yeah, and like Miles Morales in a lot of ways is pretty similar to Peter Parker, and the way Donald Glover played his character, it just I couldn't see it working as Miles Morales.
No, I couldn't either, but he did play like a really weird character in Homecoming.
Yeah, he did.
Like, he had weird mannerisms. And
He seemed like he was like like he just was out of it. Like he was like half asleep or something.
yeah,
Right? He was just like, oh,
that's
what
what
are
I'm
you doing?
maybe he intended to play it like that, but yeah, it
I'm
was a
assuming
little
he did. I don't think he was phoning it in.
odd.
But
No, I don't think so at all. It was just like, I don't know, it was a weird take on apparently like a supervillain in the comics.
yeah, no, it is definitely strange. All right, cool. So from a red suit, I'm gonna go over to a red cloak.
I feel like you used that transition last week.
I definitely did, but I also have something that is red. So, but before I get into my next Easter egg, I'm just gonna tell you, I went down a YouTube rabbit hole for Ultron lines in Age of Ultron, and fuck, James Spader's voice is so great, and I'm not even gonna lie to you, I fucking loved Ultron, and I was really pissed that he was kind of just wasted at the end.
We've talked about this before. It's like every Marvel villain. It's
Yeah.
I thought he was really good too. I'm not a fan of James Spader normally. I like him in The
Neither am I.
Office,
I like him in The Office, and that's about it.
and yeah, Ultron, and that's pretty much it.
And I've never watched Boston Legal, so I couldn't even.
I didn't even
speak
know
to
that was a show.
Yeah,
You should
it's
watch that shit because it takes place in your town.
That's true. It's James Spader and William Shatner.
Oh
Actually.
God, that
So
cannot be
it's
good.
like, I don't know. I've never seen it, but I love my procedural shows. Which spoiler alert, I don't. Anyway.
No clapping, no laughing.
Yeah, yeah. But I digress. So my Easter egg is actually shown during the scene where Ultron first reveals himself to Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch in the church in Sokovia. So Ultron is originally in the center of the church. He's sitting down on a chair with a red cloak draped over him. Now, what does that mean? Well, this is basically a callback to when the character first appeared in the Avengers comic. Ultron originally appears in Avengers number 54 in 1968 as the Crimson Cow. And he reveals his face at the end of that issue, but there's no mention of what his name is. So he's in a completely different costume until the very end, where he shows what he looks. He doesn't really look like how he looks in the movie, but pretty similar. He's got more of like a black in the middle of his helmet.
But he's still a robot. Like, looks like
he
a
is
robot.
still a robot.
Okay.
Yes. So Ultron and well, I'll just say this. So the red cloak he wears in Age of Ultron is basically is a throwback to his original persona that they never explored during the movie. So I think that was pretty cool that he like kind of donned that in a certain way.
I like when they do that.
Yeah, because I mean, he could have just been sitting there. He's a giant fucking robot, you know. Like no one, he's not gonna fool anyone. Like I know it's an obscure Easter egg, but he had it for a reason. He's not like walking the streets in like a little cloak, like, oh, they're not gonna realize I'm like 10 feet tall and a giant like killer robot, you know?
Yeah, you know, when I watched that movie, I didn't understand. I was like, why is he wearing that? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it honestly reminded me of like The Mummy or something. Like he was like hiding out.
Yeah, and like you said, it would have been impossible for him to hide anyways. So I like that they did that. I definitely like, if they're not going to go with what the source material is, I like when they pay respect to where it came from.
Right.
Rather than just changing it and being like a big fuck you to the storyline.
Right. Because I know in issue 55, which was the next one where he's known as like Ultron 5. Like that's his thing. And then he like kind of disappears a little bit, and then he upgrades himself to Ultron 6, like the adamantium shell and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
But they can't say adamantium because it's owned by Fox. So but yeah, it's pretty cool that they paid homage to the character. I mean, I know the comic and the movie vary differently, considering Hank Pym is actually the one that creates Ultron rather than Tony Stark. But yeah, I mean, I think that keeping it pretty like, you know, like most people would notice, like, again, like I started reading comics really, really late, with the exception of Spider-Man, and like I had no idea about this until, you know, I looked it up.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because yeah, like I like when they do that type of shit. But again, it's like watching it, it's like, why the fuck is he wearing that? And that's something that you have to know as a fan.
Right.
It's
or
like,
else you're just like, why do they even choose to do that? Like,
yeah, it's like the Infinity Gauntlet in Thor 1. Like, I didn't know that even existed because Thanos wasn't even a thing.
Right.
Like, I didn't even know. So I would have had to have known and caught that one frame that it showed it. It's like, damn,
listen,
that's an obscure reference.
Exactly. But you could have always looked up the YouTube video that would have circled it 50,000 times with 10 million arrows pointing at it.
It'd be 23 minutes. And the thumbnail would be like just some fucking crazy stuff with some tits hanging out.
Exactly. All right, cool. Yeah, so Ultron being made by Hank Pym. Interestingly enough, Hank Pym is in your next movie that you chose an Easter egg for.
That is true. So this one is technically an Ant-Man Easter egg, but it's also a callback to Iron Man 1. So
nice.
This, like, it would be almost impossible for you to actually catch this in Ant-Man. Because, okay, so they're in the thing with the little vault thing with the yellow jacket suit and Hank Pym. And then there's I don't even know the character's name, but the leader of the guy who basically created the yellow jacket suit.
Well, you mean Forgettable Villain number 35?
Yes.
Okay, sure.
So there's him, and then there's
the bald guy.
Yeah, the bald guy with the suit, the nice looking suit.
Yeah, the bald, nice looking suit. Yeah.
So there's also like some security guards. It doesn't really touch on who they are or who they're with. Right. But apparently, so this is the thing that would be impossible for you to see. In one of the deleted scenes on the DVD or the Blu-ray, one of the security guards has a tattoo on his neck, a 10 rings tattoo. So
shit.
It calls back to the Iron Man. And honestly, after watching Iron Man, I'm like, where the fuck is this 10 rings going to show up again?
Seriously. Yeah.
Because like Hydra's been big in the entire thing. Thanos has at some point, like 10 rings was in the first one, and I think it was in the third one for like second.
It was.
And then you never hear from it.
Yeah, which really sucks because the 10 rings is like, it's the Mandarin, and it's like Fin Fang Foom, which is another one of Iron Man's like nemesis. And the fact that they're not even like mentioned anymore is stupid. I mean, again, they ruined the Mandarin. I thought Ben Kingsley was awesome as him when he was like pretending to be bad.
Yeah.
But then when it ended up being like a complete hoax, which really honestly fucking ruined the movie for me.
Yeah,
which
it was
really
like one of the
sucked.
tropes, like it was all a dream. Like, just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, it's actually Guy Pearce, and that's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they completely abandoned the whole Ten Rings thing, and I don't even know if they were even involved with Guy Pearce's character Aldrich Killian. So it's almost like they were featured in one, weren't featured again until Ant-Man.
Yeah, apparently. But if you look at the scene that was cut out, it looks like they're trying to maybe focus on the Ten Rings thing, but they took the scene out. So it leads me to believe that they kind of abandoned the whole Ten Rings storyline. Because it's literally like half of the Ten Rings tattoo for like a split second, like less than the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet in Thor 1. It's like you barely see it.
Oh shit.
So somebody just like barely caught this.
Wait, so this is actually a deleted scene, so it's not even in the theatrical release?
The tattoo is, but in the deleted scene, there you can see the full tattoo.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's how they can kind of confirmed that it was the Ten Rings tattoo.
Well, Kevin, I'm glad I'm glad everyone's enjoyed the show thus far, considering this particular part was recorded 3 days later because my internet decided to go out. Luckily, this time it ended up going out when we were basically done. So all that's left is the intro or outro.
You know what's funny is at the beginning of this episode, I hadn't seen Black Panther, and by the end, I have already seen Black Panther.
Yeah, that is really interesting. Which I guess, yeah. Overall thoughts.
I liked it. I don't think it lived up to the hype that it got.
Okay, fair enough. I would have to disagree, but fair enough. So yeah, and before we close out, Kevin, I do have a question for you, and this doesn't have to do with. Well, I guess it kind of has to do with Easter eggs, but it doesn't really have to do with anything Marvel. I couldn't really think of a really good question for the end of the show, aside from this one. Is it Easter Bunny or Zombie Jesus that resonates the most?
I think it's definitely the Easter Bunny.
Okay.
I mean, if you ask any kid, because that's what this holiday is all about, is like kids.
Right.
Kids are going to be like, Easter Bunny, hands down. What's Jesus have to do with the Easter Bunny?
I agree. Yeah, I feel like Easter was like a weird way to get kids like into religion, but like, oh, look at the cute, cuddly bunny. Although the bunny was never cute and cuddly. It always looked like a murderer.
Yeah, especially if you look at pictures of the Easter Bunny in like the 60s and 70s, it looks like a Chuck E. Cheese animatronic thing, but way worse.
100% worse. And I also will say, I don't know what it is with every mall still having the same costume from like the 1970s. Like they just recycled the same costume, and that's probably what makes it worse. Is just a bunny that's just wear and tear over fucking 40 years. We're just like, oh, how did they not got a new costume for this?
I saw a video recently of a Easter Bunny like surprising kids in a classroom, and the kids look fucking terrified. They lose their shit and just start running and screaming. It's hilarious.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let us know what you think. Zombie Jesus or Easter Bunny. Kevin and I are an Easter Bunny, but yeah, let us know what you thought of the first Wicked Hot Marvel month episode. So episode 1 with our Easter eggs, what you thought. What were some Easter eggs you liked? What were some Easter eggs you think we should have pointed out? Let us know on Twitter and Instagram at Wicked Hot Talk. And we actually have the special announcement that we had mentioned in the beginning of the episode. So in honor of Wicked Hot Marvel Month, we will be releasing a special Wicked Hot Marvel t-shirt today. So the episode's out. We'll probably announce it on Twitter. And you probably already know. Who knows? But yeah, just go ahead. It's on TeePublic, and it's under the Wicked Hot, right? It's under Wicked Hot as the store name. Okay, cool. But we'll post a direct link because it's pretty difficult to find the new t-shirts that aren't as popular on there. But yeah, really awesome shirt. So just to give you the synopsis on it, it's about how we rate Marvel movies. So
it's 1 to 6, which is kind of weird.
It's 1 to 6, yeah. which was my fault because I thought there were 5 Infinity Stones, but I forgot about the one in the center of the
So
in the gauntlet.
It's 6 based off of the number of Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
So top 6.
Yeah. I think it's a really sweet T-shirt. I hope you guys like it. We also have the other Wicked Hot logo T-shirts and some of the other like Marvel themed shirts that'll be going on. They'll be on sale for $14. So,
what's your favorite one of the logos in the shirt? So the shirt is basically a rating 1 to 6, and it's different sayings from different movies, but it's in the logo font style of the actual movie itself.
Yeah, that's really difficult because I really like number like 1, but I also really like I may have to do Odin's beard. That may be my
I like that one. I think my favorite one is Taserface.
yeah.
I might pick up a Taserface t-shirt.
Yeah, Taserface is really awesome. Yeah, so guys, definitely go pick up those T-shirts. Let us know what you thought of the episode of the first Marvel episode, and we will have a new Marvel episode again for the next, I guess, remaining 3 weeks? 3 weeks?
3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, for the next 3 weeks, leading up to the release of Avengers: Infinity War. Again, subscribe on iTunes and like, comment, all that good stuff. Follow on Twitter and Instagram at Wicked Hot Talk. And Kevin, I think that's it for 3 Day Later episode.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Bye, everybody.